for right now no the eba so mo no de edu etwam na sisia no lawyer for Abdul Hanana ye name say ono na Baffoe stock for omo CEO and also omo panyina oda omo nyina no ono and the Ken Oforiata nhihye ho anache say half of 50% government sika no na ekoku Ken Oforiata account mu no oje ho ono so je ne ho chefa no right now no Chief Justice I make decision be a actually be so court proceedings no why who decision be a see no Abdul Hanan ono the lawyer a friend no Godfred Odame former attorney general ono any edubu ahen ono so lawyer a friend attach no right now no omo mienu no Chief Justice Baffoe Boni I make court decision be a actually be say see ane there omo ebe make omo rulings about omo echeche na say hu ama Godfred Odame ene attachia omo ensa ebetimi asi for na so be lucy case na just enya asem keto akra no omo chim achim bi say massa omo nko be bia ene enko be bia achina sisia no Chief Justice Baffoe Boni proceedings o de aba e fa court nsensem ho ne ade ade ne de omo ni ba bia omo ko na say omo suro anaso be kase ba akusuro say omakọ kanana ana omakọ amutiri mupo say omo de omo nko ba bia omo ni ba bia akọ omo nkota omo ni panichi na say lawyers nso ni ho a ombe yes adwuma na say ye bu asem ne say na say ye di asem ne say nti omo de aba betu dwa kra omo say omo ma asem no adane nso na say omo amba akọ omo ka kire Chief Justice Baffoe Boni say the court proceedings na ode aba ne de omo no omo ni ba bia omo ko ene ade omo de aba betu dwa abusafo me pese mombre me pese meje mombre bebre so aboso mo me akoni nkoti nsem ekoso ewo honom na Godfred Odame ene muto ene wa beka sa nsem me do bibia ase hanom Ghana Politics Avenue so like jumadi no shema unyanom onafofo obusuafo bia enso ensa entumi enka juma ye di bi enam dimo besi makram
that Godfred Odame no in fact
nasem no the kind one na nyadwen
that but nasem yo beka bia it there we pushing don kaka
attorney general
he has the power
on na dini janim said yes shishye ne fa
chachuchi kachakacha and there one of the worst attorney general yenya wo maimu oya Godfred Odame onuna we misuse the ethics and the conduct of and a code of conduct as a lawyer or misusing so badly in court
uko tu chachu chekata
yes okay. And enya machachu mpobaka ansani yehu jumeda abinte olizi all because oya attorney general meanwhile there are serious issues wabo oman mande yada kwada IMF sika eduen so ade akahye bi mu nkotokuma onyo pepa do bo sore na wa fight na yetum na ye raise issues ohia that the issues here akoboama another akobanma Ghana ya hwiri sika no yen sit on those matters on daily
opa so jachi question issue na hia
na jachi question issue no ebe issue
enye issue
ebe issue
ntia dey court
not said these people prioritize in Zama Sabita Fetenu here. And Yoma Obama when there they are doing things to please one political supporters, but not to the benefit of the nation. So Godfred Odame by catcher there. Jachikwe the issue here so important to the nation. Let them into Yanson or Abibialaza. Ebi
enye ye mra no ne yetenetene no sede be ya ye betwa sapa that inti
yawa PDS wajiji en large bill for almost 3 months what done in my ECG Davis Karoname onye krono ni bi what has attorney general done about it has he been able to committed himself there obokwa akwa hwekro what the ball mine yawa ha mono ejapa ye gold royalty ayen kanka 10% ye sum yan manfe was it ko offshore one ma wo di dem dwuma na yen hu no da special prosecutor bakatre ye de oye krono a ebi nsi bida as attorney general all present the interest of the nation. What has he done about it?
This rule of law, constitutionalism must prevail in Ghana. That is what we see. It is not on account of people putting pressure on CJ to resign or do whatever that will take a decision. the most important thing is that there must be an upholding of the rule of law in Ghana. And we will continue to assert our rights. The proper thing must be done. As far as I'm saying, the proper thing must be done. And she's a Chief Justice. She's been in office. She's been a judicial office holder for more than 25 years or so. She's been at the bar for almost 40 years. She knows what is due process. She knows what is constitutional rights. And I think that's what she's asking for. And how can it be correct that a judge who sat on 2 matters, of which she also sat, be called as witness in a petition against her, and that same judge be made the chairman of the committee that is supposed to inquire into the petitions against the Chief Justice? Clearly, it's untenable. It's only in this country that I don't know. And the question is, on what account can she be singled out for removal from office when indeed she did not sit even alone? She sat as part of a panel. One of the judges rather has been made a witness. That is all. That's my comment. Yeah, I mean that we move on. The process is flawed, no doubt. I mean, heavily flawed, leading with all kinds of constitutional violations. And I'm quite surprised that the Supreme Court will acceding to implementation of such violations against the highest judicial officer. It's not about just talk, as I keep saying. It's not about just talk at all. The issues are far-reaching and they actually preach on matters which affect the independence of Ghana's judiciary, the security of tenure of judges and all. But if the Supreme Court, for whatever reason, does not seem to take that view, well, so be it. I think that in future, the whole nation will get to know the consequences of this.
You said there are more battles before. Are there specific measures to be taken going forward?
I'm not here to disclose to you my line of action or plans. But clearly, what we can see is that this is a procedure that should be deployed. It cannot be a situation where the Chief Justice cannot face an inquiry set up by that the 146 Constitution to determine some inquiries against some petitions against her, and she's not had notice of the specific charges in respect of which the Baffoe case has made, basis for such charges, and reasons why she's supposed to get inquiry. I mean, this is a basic right that is available to every citizen of the country. It's not an account of her being Chief Justice or her requesting for a grant of higher rights than as to organizations. She's asking for basic constitutional rights. The notice of charges that is a standing trial, or she's supposed to respond to. The basis for saying that's the case for her to answer. And indeed, this is a very significant point. It's a decision that resulted in her suspension. Are you saying that she cannot know the reason why she was suspended? She cannot know the specific charges on the basis of which the parents said that she should go and stay at home and for another person to assume the office? I mean, this is very strange. It's something that is very much alien to every civilized legal system. But we see where is the reasons for them to deal with it.
Finally, from in your opinion, you have said that this process is deeply flawed. There are those who are calling for the Chief Justice to simply resign and save yourself all the trouble from this. As a former attorney general, to ask your opinion as a lawyer for Madam Tokoni, what would you say to that?
Due process, rule of law, constitutionalism must prevail in Ghana. That is what we see. It is not on account of people putting pressure on CJ to resign or do whatever that will take any decision. The most important thing is that there must be an upholding of the rule of law in Ghana. And we will continue to assert our rights. The proper thing must be done. As far as I'm saying, the proper thing must be done. And she's a Chief Justice. She's been in office. She's been a judicial office holder for more than 25 years or so. Been at the bar for almost 40 years. She knows what is due process. She knows what is constitutional rights. And I think that's what she's asking for. And how can it be correct that a judge who sat on 2 matters on which she also sat be called as witness in a petition against?
So Godfred is lawyer for Vincent Assefuah. So they first brought an application. In relief 1, they say that Her Ladyship, the Chief Justice, was not notified prior to the President sending or consulting the Council of State. That's the claim. Now, the claim of not being notified requires personal knowledge. Yeah. So once that issue came up, some of us said, on what basis did Vincent Assefuah get this privileged information that the President has not consulted Her Ladyship, the Chief Justice? So then it created an impression of some communication between the plaintiff and Her Ladyship, the Chief Justice. Not long, there was a letter now from the Chief Justice herself asking the President to furnish her a copy of the letter so she can, as it were, put in a response. So already right from the beginning, the impression has already been created by way of conduct that there's some kind of communication between lawyers for Vincent Assefuah himself, and now suspended Chief Justice. Now, that matter goes in and it fails. Only for Her Ladyship, the Chief Justice, now suspended, to formally come before the courts. Now gets represented by the same lawyer for Vincent Assefuah. And like you pointed out, it's about the optics. Me, where I sit here, that I will not say that food should be taken from the mouth of a colleague lawyer. No, this is what we do for living. And so now that he's back into private practice, he needs to make a living. I will not say who should be his client or who should not. But you see, we are working out the optics. Look, the head of the judiciary, right, gets represented by the immediate Attorney General. At the time when there have been serious questions about, the public, the verdict is out there in the public. That no, you have not acted between the two political parties. You have taken side. And for that matter, like Caesar's wife, you must live above reproach. You understand? Caesar's wife must not be somebody whose name is associated with anything below the, like people can gossip about or run rumor about Caesar's wife. No. So when the story came that Cleopatra had something to do with Mark Antony, it was as good as you are God. As the wife of Caesar. That is how, when you get elevated to a certain position, you cannot do what a DG can do. Me, I don't want to be a judge. So I am in my corner. You understand? Now, those who say they want to be a judge, there's a certain elevated conversation about them. So once you become Caesar's wife, there is a certain benchmark around you based on your conduct. I would have wished, and this is possibly wishful thinking. There are many senior lawyers in this country, right? Many senior lawyers. Now, if you have a situation where serious allegations of this nature, the minority in parliament have entered, the NPP itself had actually had a demonstration relative to this. Then not only that, you have a situation where the immediate Attorney General is your lawyer. Have you found out who is represented here before the committee?
And something that me to say mu ade amamui. Can I abapia mu penny on answer so for no hat and chain so? Mammy Dana Asnaba da Pana say. Sabre kwadu ene so bo bia de ebo kane abapia mu penny ye wura Godfred ye bo Odame no e yo tahu kwa ena NDC for eta papa yi o chema enwade yada ye wura Godfred ye bo Odame ene aloya for kan ho amode ni echem OCI the headquarters no ene buburu jan chempo no anwea ene jema MPP aloya for nyina no e kan ho wo mu kwadu no anche ebinim so efo mo ankasa ka e sheda akwai na ene sen sabre ekasai owura Richard Japa wono ana de sobo abo papa se ebe ankase adifo enfra no ne ehwe ensem bi abribi waka efa wono no ho na fe nkopɛ so ogun anim ase ne ade nyina da ye hwe ho asɛm nka amanfo bɛka ya abribi abɛse kro yewura atofosen ye ka so nkoto ambulance amra Ghana emenka na kyese na yewura rechi japai ne ho ebom mu bi omokoto ambulance ne eba ya na kyese ne nyina ne sana ambulance to efunuhura ne nyina no de adwuma enyeye amiantumi enya ho sika enya ho faso eno na birim kyerɛ madwen sɛ aya kahunu no ma me abo akoye kwase financial loss to the state eno ntia be ya yenyi o masem asem de ne abawie ma wie akoso awie kama asem yi o makwa akodi e high court abra ma me afia sewa aserbotwe etra konya kase so de fribu ba bia no aba awieye aba awieye ne se ehunu se tumi asesa ena ye kase no yewura rich japa national security operative ena afei wono ade ensem akwakodan national security se ebeya siari enkwankofa papai yewura Godfred ebo Odame na ensem okan ebribi no wo mohwe ho asamunka na ensem we ho ena maame dana asabada pa echese ayo ten hunu mfaso bia eniso moma yentie no
say a branch of your friend Richard Jacka declared to Abedan CID and say maybe train someone went to case a report judge penny justice of your secretary. It's not so what time is our service. But one Abedan CID said a year format was on a book of fabricated evidence and other issues. They are any tears, send a lawyer for city, say, a semi back, a judge, and some waffle, a bois, a seminar. And maybe the FM is a registered cancer. Anchor, national gas, but I said you're frivolous. But then I'm saying, yes, or yellow abiding decided said the police will now be a woman. They don't match yourself. Come here, say,
yebesram se empore etochima baby kakra na kane abepe mu pani osanso no so afọ be de chu atante ne so ma me dan na asabada pa ne nka enete ye no
show bibi oje bre ehwejumedi we ebesi pepper so you know bibi as Ghana Politics Avenue there monitria dan da se ne ye no na political trending news there call and the eba and na yen ya Japanese ya bebre mo ya bedwafo and ye tifo nyankopon on show bibi anon tro bibi ankra be shema ha and am dijuma AC like jumedi na shema unyanam onso enter into me in kebi macram